Hello, I'm Ian Thatcher. I'm Professor of History at the University of Ulster, where I specialise in Russian history in the late Imperial and Soviet periods. Popular Revolution versus Coup d'etat. The overthrow of Tsar Nicholas II was meant to herald the start of a new democratic Russia. The provisional government was not elected by the revolution, nor did it lead it. The cabinet combined executive and legislative power, so it was in no way a democratic regime. Yet it was seen as a caretaker administration that would quickly organise elections to a constituent assembly on the foretale suffrage. Secret, universal, equal and direct. The organisation of national elections was undoubtedly complicated by the World War and by the necessity to rebuild local government. Nevertheless, the provisional government abolished many of the former repressive legislation and offered legal guarantees for the fundamental rights of freedom of speech and association. A constituent assembly was elected in the autumn of 1917. For some historians, Russia was dislodged from the democratic path by the Bolshevik coup of October 1917. It was a coup for several reasons. First, it was organized surreptitiously in the Bolshevik Central Committee. Second, the Bolsheviks hid their seizure of power behind the mask of Soviet organizations. The declaration issued on the morning of 25th of October 1917 claimed that the provisional government had been overthrown by the Military Revolutionary Committee of the Petrograd Soviet of Workers' and Soldiers' Deputies. It took the Bolsheviks several years of bloody civil war to establish what had always been the real intent: one-party rule to force communism upon an outraged and oppressed people. In this sense, the coup was a tragedy of epic proportions. The presentation of the October Revolution as a coup of disciplined and devious intellectuals has not gone unchallenged. Leon Trotsky once described revolution as the forcible entry of the masses into the ownership of their own destiny. Recent studies of Russian society post-February argue that central government collapsed to such an extent that power became spread amongst numerous groups and associations. In the armed forces, soldiers elected committees that oversaw the distribution of supplies and interfered with officer command. In industrial plants and workshops, the workers elected factory committees that increasingly took on managerial functions. In the villages, peasants took over land committees to arrange for the redistribution of land. Regional and local Soviets more and more took over the administration of daily life, including transport, food, refuse collection, and law and order. In areas such as Ukraine and Finland, national representative parliaments emerged to make their own claims for autonomy and independence. It was these popular organs that in effect nullified the rule of the provisional government across the Russian Empire before the Bolsheviks arrested the cabinet in October 1917. The Bolsheviks would not have been able to overthrow the provisional government had it not been fatally undermined by the popular revolt. In turn, the Bolsheviks represented the popular revolt only to the extent that they adopted the slogans of the People's Revolution: peace, land, and bread. Unfortunately, the story of the revolution's development through the Civil War was the establishment of a dictatorship and the betrayal of the popular aspirations of 1917.